Welcome to the Dawg Chug. I'm Andy, and we've got a huge crowd today. Roger, Ed, Nick, Lana, all of my favorite people are here tonight because we're going to have a fantastic show. I'm back from Las Vegas and ready to go back to talking Browns. Woohoo!
Oh,
Did you make any money, Andy?
I made some money. Yeah.
Hell yeah!
all right.
Hell yeah!
Season tickets for everybody.
I'm gonna be able to afford like the PSL transfer fee when they give me the new seat. It's gonna be great.
All right, sweet.
Roger, you just got back from vacation. Did you have fun? Everything go well?
I did. Man, I did. I'll tell you what, we were down on Hilton Head Beach and we were in Savannah. And you know what? I'm not prepared tonight. And the reason is that Saturday night, now we got a B&B right on the Savannah River. And Saturday night, I grilled some burgers out and I cleaned up the patio and I sit down with a cold Cleveland Hazy, one of these cuties from Market Garden. And I start to work on my top 10 in the Dawg Chug. And all of a sudden, the wildlife, like, I can hear it, man. Like, I felt like I was being watched from the woods. And, the animal noises were ridiculous. So I gathered everything up and come in the house, and the boys' mom was like, what? I said, the mosquitoes are biting like crazy out there. And I sat down on the couch, and I didn't write a top 10 or nothing, because then I was out of the mood. And, like, I don't know if alligators were watching me or there's snakes. There were lizards on the house, but we had a hell of a time. We had a great time. I got no top 10. I didn't bring anything. I'm going to sit here and drink beer because we got home about 3 a.m. and I woke up this morning and had a flat tire. So I had a rough day. I'm going to sit here and drink beer. You guys have a great show.
All right.
We'll wake you up when it's over.
Okay, thank you.
And Ed, you were the host last week. I heard you had a great show with Chuck.
We did have a great show with Chuck. And by the way, shout out to Chuck. He is on a date tonight. So, hey, hopefully congratulations, Chuck. I don't know what's going on, but like I said, we always say no restraining orders, Chuck, and then that's a win right there. So we'll keep it at that. But Chuck, great show last week, Andy. Thank you for mentioning new segment that we will air tonight. We have Bill on opposition position, so we got a nice topic for that one as well. Got a fun packed field show, and I yield my time on the floor after Roger was talking about it. It's hard to follow that. So
looking forward to the new segment. Lana, I heard you heard there were a bunch of HR violations in last week's show. Thanks for taking care of all of those. I appreciate it.
I wasn't even here. They were able to break
there were a lot
all
of
the
people that
laws.
complained, and you dealt with it, and you made sure there were no lawsuits and everything.
That's why Chuck Butt wasn't on last week either. We had to make sure we had this. Yeah.
Keeping
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. This girl's the one for Chuck if she can pull him out of his Guardians depression, because they're losing 5-3 right now. And so if they're on a date right now, I mean.
Well, like I said, hopefully nothing legal happens here. That's
She's trying to be like,
tonight
no
again.
way.
Nick's here again tonight. How's Nick doing?
Hey, well, I'm pretty good today. I'm in the midst of quite the work week, but that's okay. Andy texted me today and said, hello, would you like to be on Dawg Chug? And I get to see a bunch of great faces here. And I missed you guys. And I'll tell you what, I won't be here next Wednesday, unfortunately. But I'm gonna try to keep coming because I really have a great time with you guys. And if there's anybody that knows how to have fun, it's the Dawg Chug.
I mean, right?
Right. That's exactly right. That's what we set out to do like 4.5 years ago, and we're almost making that mission.
Hey, you read that script perfectly, Nick. You read that script perfectly. Thank you, brother.
When is the 5-year anniversary?
I think it would be like the week before we played Cincinnati. I think it's like
we came on the Wednesday night before the season started.
Andy doesn't like that, though. Andy doesn't like show numbers. He doesn't like anniversaries.
We never numbered them. We made a conscious decision
But that's
not
a big
to number them.
deal.
Anniversaries are cool. I just don't like this is Dawg Chug episode 238.
No, yeah, no.
So that's why we never numbered them, and now we don't know how many we've done. YouTube would tell us, wouldn't they?
Some could argue
sure
too
it's
many,
just
Andy.
somewhere.
Some could argue too many.
But hey, we've done one. We've done one every Wednesday night, pretty steady for what coming up on 4 Brown seasons, 5 years. So
Yeah, we're saying
Do the
5 years
math.
in September.
I was told there'd be no math tonight. So
We don't do math on the Dawg Chug.
We don't do a lot of things with the brain on the Dawg Chug.
But you know what it all stemmed? We were three of us were on Nick and Jacob's show,
Yeah.
and we went to a training camp, and boom, man, here we are coming up on 4 whole seasons.
Hey, for those who don't know, public service announcement. If you're not a season ticket holder, training camp tickets become available tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I got mine today,
Yeah, sure.
Look at you go.
but I'm going to go on and get more tomorrow because I have other email addresses.
And I'll tell you what, Lana, I was literally last year, I was literally waiting, chomping at the bit at 10 a.m. and I got 0 tickets. They were gone immediately. So
Oh my god.
Last year was
it's a
really
bonanza.
nobody was excited with Watson, and like this year, nothing.
No,
It's Andrews.
yeah.
I couldn't get a ticket to save my life.
I got mine. The system was acting up there. You had to keep trying. But
Yeah.
I think it's an important Roger, you did bring it up. How many episodes of Dawg Chug have we done? It is interesting. So Chugbot, I'm sure you can calculate.
Oh no.
How many episodes of the
Yeah.
Dawg Chug have there been, including tonight, of course? Chugbot. Chugbot. Oh my god.
It's back to work time.
He's already drunk.
Chop chop.
I don't
Even
even get
Chuck
drunk
bought
this
those.
bad.
Man.
I don't know what's going on with
Is he
Chugbot.
not clocked in?
He's
not
following the
getting
rules.
paid.
We said no math on the show.
He's
so.
not getting paid.
That's fair.
All right. He's apparently going through a little circuit upgrade, but that's fine because we have a packed show.
Chugbots crunching the numbers, and let's just say we've churned out enough episodes to make Roger's X-Rants feel like a broken record, and enough to drown Andy's betting losses in a sea of beer. We're talking a wild-ass pile of shows, somewhere between Ed's recycled cans and the Browns' win total since forever. Guess we'll keep counting when we sober up.
All right. That didn't really help us at all. Thank you, Chugbot.
No.
Let's get the show going. We got a lot of fun. So, Ed, I'm going to turn it to you.
I apologize for this one. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking news. The WNBA is expanding to Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. And if you think it's bad basketball now, watering down a league of lesbians that don't know what to do when they kick into the hole can't help. UPenn transgender swimmer Leah Thompson had her records and titles stripped at the university is adhering to the Trump administration's no men and women sports. Thompson thought this was unfair because she worked her balls off. And finally, some fans are fearing that the reports claiming Deshaun Watson is mentoring Shedeur Sanders could be troublesome. However, since Browns QBs usually blow, it makes sense to find happy endings. Like Deshaun says, it's elementary, Watson. And this is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking news.
Well
Well
done.
done, Edward. Well done.
Mm.
That was fantastic. I just saw 2 more HR violations come in. Thank you.
You know, I think Deshaun Watson's getting married tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
I don't know. I could
FYI.
care, could care less. Are you going to crash?
Yeah, probably.
Take some
Kevin and I are
Dawg
gonna
Chug correspondence
stop in.
video, please, if you're there. That could be great. All right. I think we have another round of Roger School. We're trying to refine Roger's palate here, so he's a little, a little nicer to people on social media. So we've been making the effort. I think we've already been seeing results. A lot of people have been saying it's Roger's turned a whole new leaf, so that's great. But we got to keep it going. We got to keep pushing him, or else he's going to revert back to his bad habits. So with that in mind, the question today, so let's say someone tweeted this at you, Roger. How would you respond? The tweet would be, this guy pretends like everything he says is true, and yet he went up and down for months about how the Guardians were going to have a great season. How would you respond to that, Roger?
Do I really tweet out that everything is true? It's everything I tweet out is true as I believe it to be. It's not false if you believe it to be true. So everything I tweet out, I do absolutely 100% believe it to be 100% true, sir. And I don't have a crystal ball. You know, so I can admit when I'm wrong, but we're pulled. You know, everybody's already got the Guardian season over, and I don't think it's over yet. We'll find out. You know what? This weekend is important. I went too long. All right, yeah.
He's doubling down. He's saying there's still a chance. Roger, it's over. Just gotta.
We'll know after the Detroit series this weekend.
All right.
Oh, good. Oh, good grief.
Fair enough. All right. Well, Alana, how would you grade that?
I'm so proud of Roger. I think he's doing so well. I'm gonna give that a B. I'm gonna go B on that. You started to go off the track a smidgy, but you reined yourself back in, and I liked your I don't have a crystal ball comment. That was lovely. That's very good.
Roger,
In defense of my old self that I like a lot more, in the heat of the moment, I get a lot angrier than when Andy's pitching it to me on a calm Wednesday night. So, because I like to anger me much more than I like this me. Just so you guys know. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
We know.
No, I think the best way to get somebody that's trying to aggravate you is to aggravate them. And if you respond reasonably, they're gonna spend their time just yelling at you.
Yeah.
And saying whatever it is they say, and you didn't have to look at it if you don't want to. But inevitably somebody else is gonna come and yell at them. And then you just have two people yelling at each other back and forth in your mentions. It's a grand old time.
I love that.
That has been happening. I've been staying out of it. And eventually I mute it because I'll have people going at it. And I started it. And I just kind of Homer Simpson into the bushes. And they go at it. And yeah, that's fun too. You're right, Nick. That's a whole new world of entertainment for me. I'm enjoying that.
Good for you.
Well,
I love it.
And that was just Lana's opinion. It's one person's opinion. Chugbot wants to weigh in too. So Chugbot, how do you think Roger did there when he responded to that tweet?
Roger responded to that like he gives head. He sucks dick.
Oh, jeez.
Holy
What did
crap.
he say? I missed it. What did he say?
That you suck wieners.
Wow. That's
Thank
why
you, Lana, for paraphrasing that.
I gave you the HR version of it.
And by the way, Chugbot, sucks wieners is way funnier.
Is that in the man? Like, is that like you say that's like the HR way? Is that what kind of HR are you running over there?
Right. Is that something that you're away with?
That's a really good point, Ed. Right. All right. Well, I know we have one of our favorite people that comes out on the Dawg Chug. He's great. He is polished. He can talk Browns better than anyone I know. He's been on a number of times. Let's bring Bill back onto the Dawg Chug. Let's see. I guess I gotta do that. Welcome back to the Dawg Chug, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Bill.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Happy for Pizza Guy Bill. Remember Pizza Guy Bill? That was his original handle, and he changed it. It's been about 3 years now, but
it's been long. It was longer than that. When I first,
it's been a while.
Oh my gosh! When I first came on Twitter, it was Pizza Guy.
How did you come up with Pizza Guy? You're the guy that like.
Yeah, he just said.
So,
Did you
do you remember the movie City Slickers?
Yes.
Where Billy Crystal has to do the ad.
Yes.
And he does the ad for Pizza Guy. You know, and then he plays it. It's really crappy. It's a guy for Pizza Guy.
Did you like cook pizza at home?
That's funny.
Well, in elementary school, I used to bring pizza and sausage, no light, like every day for lunch. You know you're Italian when you bring Italian sausage and pizza every day for lunch in 6th grade.
Was that show and tell? Would you bring show and tell, Bill?
No,
either that or a big bowl of
brother.
meatballs.
Sausage and peppers for show and tell?
I did. I would bring that. I'd have Twinkies, and then I'd also have the Jello, the Hunt's pudding top, where you pulled the top and it was metal, and you licked it and cut your tongue. Remember that?
In the can,
in the can.
That was
pudding in the
phenomenal. That was just,
Those are
oh my
so
gosh.
good.
That was great. Those were the days. Those were the days.
Shout out, shout out Candy Corn Guy. Also, his assessment to Candy Corn Guys of Roger's answer, I totally agree with. We put your comment up earlier of Candy Corn. Keep them coming.
Very lovely.
Yes.
By the way, talk about what did you think about Bill's old Twitter handle?
Oh boy.
Oh man, he is really slow.
I was Orange Grossy.
He's on Vegas
Before
time. He's on Vegas time.
Hope your Cleveland takes are sharper than that cheesy alias. Nick, your Browns tweet simper is still ripe.
Why are you talking about?
Keep your Smurf-sized Stefanski fantasies in check.
Why are you talking about making? I asked you a question about Bill. Jeez. All right, whatever. You got to stop.
Leave me and Kevin out of this.
Yeah. All right.
AI,
Well,
it's a sad AI state affairs.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
we are going to keep this show within an hour because that's our 2025 goal lately.
Mhm.
So I think we have a bunch of bits to get to here. What do we want to start with first, Ed?
Well, we like to kind of break them down. Rapid fires that we'll do that after Spit Sip Chug. I like to get.
Why don't we start the new segment? I'm
That's
excited.
right.
Did we lose Nick though?
Yeah, we
I think
did.
Nick's trying to get back on. So we'll when he gets back on, we'll
We did, but I'm going to have some fun with this one, Lana. Don't you worry. Yes, new segment. We aired it last week. Shout out to Candy Corn Guy, James Elowitz, and then I'm forgetting somebody, but I apologize. But they got it in opposition position is the name of the new bit. It's going to be where you take the opposition's position. Oh, Nick's back. Okay, perfect. Opposition position. You take the position of your opposition. So normally, for instance, like I said, I'm Ohio State fan. Roger's a Michigan fan. I would argue that Michigan's better than Ohio State, and he would obviously argue that Ohio State's better. And then we have the judges, like I said, basically playing devil's advocate, opposition position. I want to start with, we'll have two real quick ones, and try to be within a minute. And that way we'll judge. This question statement or whatever you want to call it is this, and I'll have this is going to be Andy versus Bill, and the and it's going to be the premise: gambling destroys families. Gambling destroys families. Andy is going to argue that gambling does not destroy families. Okay, it does not destroy.
He should be good at that.
No, he does. No, he's actually going to argue that it does.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, it does
Yes,
destroy families.
I was so ready for this one. I wanted to get him so bad that I messed it up. But Andy will argue that yes, that it does. And then Bill, on the other hand, will go the opposition position on that one. He'll go the opposite one that way. And we'll kick it off with you, Andy. You're going to argue.
Listen, this is very easy. I've been gambling many a times, and sometimes you're playing at a blackjack table with someone that you could just tell has like just gotten paid and is in there, trying to win hundreds of dollars before they have to go back to their family. And when they don't win, the amount of force they slam their fist on the table when they realize, oh, what the fuck did I just do? It's terrifying and it's sad. And I mean, you could just see their soul leaving their body. Gambling is something to do that requires a lot of responsibility, which I don't even have. But if you really are, if you got a problem with that, it is not good. You should have to earn the right to gamble, I think, because a lot of these people out there, they are making mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think it makes life worse for most families, and I think it's terrible. Shame on you, casinos.
Damn.
Shut him down.
All right, Bill. Now, like I said, that was very, very Andy. I walked into that one. I mean, that was a softball to him. I was expecting a little bit more resistance, but he just walked right through. Bill, what do you got for that?
Come on, gambling is a family thing, right? I mean, let's use the lottery as an example, right? Every time you play the lottery, whose birthdays do you play?
Families.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I
Go even further. So I grew up Italian. My father's dad, my grandfather, would have his little gold sheet, Roger, and got to pass it around to everybody in the family. And we all got to go ahead and make picks. Like Michigan favored over Northwestern by 27. I'll take Michigan.
Zero to the bottom.
the whole family is getting involved in this. It's sort of like Sunday for the Browns, right? You get the whole family together. You know, when you're sitting here and you are gambling, you have an element of family that is in everything that you do. So yeah, you know, I know there is a very small number of people who are going to go ahead and take their family's fortune and gamble it all away. But you know what? They'd go to the community college anyhow.
Bam.
Bill.
Wow.
Liar.
I was not expecting this opposition position.
Liar.
It's only been week 2, but I got to say that's going to be tough to beat for years to come. Great job, gentlemen. We'll go to you, Lana. Who are you giving the win to on that one?
Gosh, that is really hard. You guys are both amazing, but I think because, you know, Bill connected to my Italian heritage, I'll go with Bill on this one.
Wow, Nick.
Andy, I won by a smidgy.
Well, it's not. We got Nick and we got Chugbot to say who's going to judge this now.
Uh-oh.
I was committed. I was convinced by Bill. I may be biased personally, but I heard a lot of family involvement there, and you know, you can't beat something that the whole family can do. So
It's true. It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Roger,
I got it.
who do you got, Roger?
Yeah. All right. Well, I knew a guy. He had a 91 Trans Am, Pontiac Trans Am.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
He started playing the pool tickets that Bill talking about. You circle 3 teams. You circle the 3 teams on
Yeah.
the bottom. You separate it. You hand it in with your $3. Well, next thing you know, he's parlaying on Sundays. Next thing you know, he's coming to drop money off. He's taking the bus. The Trans Am's gone. You know, and then the next season, he's riding a bike. He don't even have bus money to come make a bet. He had to ride a bike. And then by the 4th season, he's walking from the homeless shelter down to try to make a bet. And then on the other hand, you got me and we bought a Mega Millions in every state on the way to Georgia and on every state on the way back. So I see both sides of the coin. You know, I got the Italian. My grandfather was a horse bookie, and ran the OTB on 65th of Detroit. Who do you think? I'm going with Bill. Gambling's a family business, baby.
Damn.
I got a story, Roger. So my grandmother, her birthday was August 3rd. Okay. And one of the last things that I remember, my grandfather used to go to Thistledown all the time, right? And so there was a horse in the 9th race called August the 3rd, right? This is the easiest bet in the world, right? He didn't bet it. The horse won. It was a long shot, like 80-1. My grandmother was so angry at him. It has been our family joke for the last 40 some odd years. It was the funniest thing.
So does he dread that day
stitches.
then? Does he dread August 3rd? Then?
Oh my gosh, it was so. But you're right. It's a family thing. I
I got to
Sorry,
go Bill on that. Andy laid it out, like I said, like the guy that went from the Trans Am to living in the homeless shelter. And that's a true story. That guy was a degenerate. He lost everything, but I'm still going. We bought Mega Million tickets all the way down and back. We're going to gamble.
live in a trailer down by the river.
Heck, to give me a scratcher while you're in there, Pop.
All right, well, let's see what Chugbot thinks. It's obviously Bill's the winner, but let's see if it's a clean sweep.
Chugbot's loving Ed's new opposition position bit. Andy, you had to argue gambling's evil, saying it rips families apart with your broke-ass Cybertruck bets. And Bill, you flipped it, claiming Lotto and roulette are sweet when we use family birthdays. You math teacher genius. Andy, your evil rant was a stretch for a gambling jit, but Bill's birthday spin was slicker than his pizza guy Bill days.
Pizza guy Bill days.
I wish we had him on the show when he was during those days. All right, you got another round, Ed?
Well, I don't know, Andy. It's up to you. I mean, that was so good. It's like I don't know.
Good.
I don't want to
think we
water.
can beat that.
Don't want to water it down, Andy. For the spirit of the show and for the hour's sake, I yield my time. We'll be back next week. Opposition position gonna be tough to beat. Great job, guys.
Well done, Ed. All right, we got a little game to play with our great guest Bill. So what we did, we went back through Nick Karn's tweets. Pulled out a bunch of tweets. Now, some of these tweets are from this offseason, this latest offseason.
Whoops.
While others are from previous off seasons. All you have to do, Bill, is say, is it from this offseason or from an older offseason?
I don't delete much, man. I do not delete much.
I don't delete anything.
Oh my gosh.
So it should
I
be pretty
delete all
easy
kinds of
because,
shit.
if he's talking about Myles Garrett leaving the Browns, it's probably from this offseason, right? I mean, this is
Right.
slam dunk. You should be able to do this. All right. And we got a bunch of them here, so maybe we can even throw some at Nick after a little bit here. But here we go. I'm going to randomize these one more time.
Oh,
Just give me 1 second. Data sort.
We hope so,
There we
Sherry.
go.
We
There we
hope
go.
so. That's always the goal. But
I
don't
see
know.
shit. I see Sherry's face, and I think of the Florida Panthers, and I'm sad.
I know.
I mean,
The Montan Oilers, Nick. The Montan. They don't deserve
no
Ed.
Ed.
They don't deserve
no,
Ed.
no Ed.
All right, so here we go. So here is the tweets. I have Browns gear on every day. I have Browns. I schedule Browns trips every year. I have a column to Browns season. I have Browns mugs. I have Browns blankets. I have Browns knickknacks. I have plans to get a Browns tattoo. I have never been more down as a Browns fan. Now, is that this latest offseason that he wrote this, or was this from a previous offseason?
I'll go previous.
From 20.
Nick, what would you say on that one?
Oh, it's previous.
Oh,
I have new on this one. Maybe I did that wrong.
Could have been 10 different seasons.
We'll fact check that one. We're going to give that one to Bill. So we'll move on.
Poor Nick.
Okay. Look no further for the culture change in Cleveland than David Njoku. Drafted to a team that went 0-16, fired his agent that wanted him to change teams, signed an extension with the Browns, had a career season, and made the Pro Bowl. Defends Cleveland like his own. Is that a current offseason or an old one?
I noticed him.
I'm going to say current.
Nick, would you agree or disagree?
Old as last year.
That is an old one. So right now you got one correct and one.
Damn, that was from. Damn, wow, I was wrong.
No, that was an old one.
The first
No,
one.
No, the first one.
Yeah. Even that one's up for dispute, I think, Andy. That one's,
Yeah, I have the first one I have is listed as new, but
we gave it to Bill, but I don't know, Andy. We don't know.
here we go. The Deshaun Watson trade will go down as the worst Browns move of all time, and that's one hell of a list. New or old? You got 47 minutes, and then we're gonna buzz you.
This.
And then we're going to say goodnight.
What do you think?
We
Did
should
you
have
hear me, Bill?
we should have a timer.
Oh, he's thinking. He's
That's
either
where you're going.
what's going on, Bill?
Did you hear me? I said
that?
this offseason.
This
Oh, we
That's
didn't
correct.
hear
That's
you.
correct. Nice. Okay, now you got that one right. So you're 2-1. Joe Flacco told everyone Cleveland is his first choice. Joe Flacco hasn't signed anywhere while many other quarterbacks have. Joe Flacco belongs in brown and orange.
Yes, he does.
Previous.
That is an old tweet. That's correct.
Nice.
Previous.
Bill is doing good.
Yeah, you are doing very well. Okay. Kids today will never understand how special Terrell Pryor was in a Cleveland Browns uniform. New or old?
Classic.
I love a good throwback.
I'm going to say recent.
Yeah. I think
That
he's
is
right.
correct.
Yep. I would have said yes, too. I remember that one,
Recent.
Nick. I do remember that. Little Ohio State. I know something about Terrell Pryor. There's just something about him. It's like, I can't believe he actually, he was on the Browns. He legitimately was good. He was a really good player. You
Yeah,
know what?
oh yeah, he was.
I know.
All right. Cleveland really sucks if you hate incredible museums, scenic beaches, delicious food, cheap houses, and awesome bars. Is that new or old?
People act like Edgewater doesn't exist. It's very irritating to me.
It's very lovely.
I like Edgewater.
They'll have fireworks there, won't they, this weekend?
I believe so.
I think so.
Candy Gore.
I'll say old.
That is a brand new tweet.
Yeah, that was yesterday, I think.
That was in response to that buffoon talking about us getting the
Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah. Fuck her.
Right. That's what I say too.
Okay.
Oh, that was in the response. Oh, okay. Okay.
Joe Flacco played well
Okay.
enough to have a starting opportunity with the team next year. The fact he prefers to stay in Cleveland without any guarantee of playing time speaks to just how far the Browns organization has come.
This.
This? Kurt?
Yeah, current.
That's an old one.
Yeah.
That is an old one.
God damn it, Browns.
It's not
This
even
one.
better since
That's an
Bill.
old one.
That's an old
So
Yeah,
one.
it's an
mad.
older one.
So well, let's get you back on track here. We got a couple more.
I think they were
Kids today
They
will
were on the
never-
ball then.
Kids today will never understand the phenomenon that was Peyton Hillis. Cleveland got this man on the cover of Madden.
Wow.
And Bill, there's no one's life is on the line if you get this wrong. It's okay.
Just throw it out. New or old.
I'll say prior.
That is
Old.
a new. It says new. That's a new one.
Yeah.
All right,
Old.
that was a new
Oh,
one.
that was
So yeah, you're kind of you're batting 500, just about as good as the Cleveland Guardians. And now your internet connection said you're doing so shitty, it just kicked you off.
It's like we're
500. They'd be hitting
we're
that
out of
shit.
here.
Right. While Bill gets back on, we'll move it to Nick. We got 3 left.
Wow.
Bengals playoff tickets just dropped with a picture of a ticket that says "Do nothing and stay home."
That's previous.
What's that?
That's previous.
That is an old one.
Yeah.
Like he should get these right. I mean, he did.
Right.
He did.
There's a lot of tweets though, Ed.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
are.
lot.
Your defense. Fair enough.
Give them to me because I thought that was an old one. I wrote a new one.
2020 Baker Mayfield was the most fun I've ever had watching a Browns quarterback. Want to
This
ride?
year.
That is a new one, correct? And we got one left. Today was just another day until 2016. Never forget toppling a team that set the record for most wins in an NBA season. Never forget the only team in NBA history to come back from 3-1 in the finals. Never forget the day Cleveland became a city of championships. Happy March 1st.
Previous.
That was a previous one. You got it right. Nice job. All right, Bill looks like
He had to think. He's like, oh man, did I?
Well, especially with some of the anniversaries, it's like
Yeah.
When they're generic,
remember that.
like that and their anniversary, it could be
That's
They
any
do the
year.
generic.
same thing
That was
every
yeah.
single year.
Right.
Right.
That was a coin flip.
Lana, is this true? Is this true?
Yes, it's bugging me
Bill's
back
having
here.
internet issues.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I would have never noticed. So
Candy corn, it hurts back here.
Okay.
and
No,
Candy Corn guy said that you refuse to follow him.
that might be true.
I know you're upset that that Mary Kay refuses to unblock you. So.
What is it about candy corn that you just say?
I scrolled through the timeline and it was a lot of break ed news today, and I was just like, I cannot.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's honestly, Nick. In these trying times when it's hard to get a story because of that. It is for us writers, us thespians out there, us content creators. It's hard, Nick. So yes, unfortunately,
I understand.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I saw a bunch of what you're referring to.
Yeah.
It's low hanging fruit because there's not much else.
I do my best to just like stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That like leads down a very slippery slope of brain rot that I'm like trying to avoid.
And yet you support Ed.
Well, no, brain rot and break ed news. Honestly, that's a compliment. That's a compliment for break ed news. So
No, I appreciate your your up to datedness. You know,
Yeah.
like, you're on it. You're on it, and I get it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but like I'll watch Breakhead News, but I might not want to scroll through that.
No, through the actual story of what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, and I totally get, and that's why I do it in Breakhead News fashion. I honestly, it's no surprise I do trying to be like Saturday Night Live when it comes to their weekend update, where you can poke fun at something, but when it comes to the meat and potatoes, to Nick's point, you don't want that on your plate. I get that.
We get it.
All right. Bill is back.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shitty podcast, so it's we love when people are coming and going. Makes it fun. Keeps it
Weird.
all right. Well, that was great. I think you batted about 500 there, but it was a tough game tonight. We did pick some
That was
tough.
good.
Yeah.
That's a fun
Sorry
game.
about that, Nick. I thought I read all your stuff every day, but
I appreciate you, friend.
I mean, they do tend to blend together. Let's be
they
honest.
do.
They kind of
I
run
do.
together,
I
and it bleeds.
with this team and Brownstown now, oh good God.
I don't know who needs to hear
Can I
this.
ask everyone? Can I ask everyone what is the hate on Brownstown? What's wrong with Brownstown? I need to know. What?
I don't
Why?
Is there hate
Why?
on it? They hate it?
Yes, there's
Somebody
hate.
hates it?
There's hate.
Was
I
that
don't
what
like
they
it.
want to name like the
Not that I
better
agree.
than them naming it like the
They're-
dog pound or something?
They're trying to
hate
rebrand
that.
everything. They are trying
Yeah.
to distance themselves from the past. That is what they're doing.
Right.
And it's stupid.
They didn't
Hell, you
win a playoff game for 30 years at home.
Do they not even know there's a Brownstown in Michigan? There's a Brownstown, Michigan.
Oh, there is. That's right.
They're pretty clueless. Their PR department really is clueless. I
I
don't
kind
know.
of like
I
it,
get
Nick.
it.
I kind of like Browns.
They're going to close that stadium without ever hosting a playoff game.
I know, isn't that
They're gonna be
incredible?
the first team in NFL history to do so. They need to.
They got 4 years.
They
Come
need to
on, man.
Listen,
Roll that stuff in the dumps. I mean, I hope, okay? But they need to throw everything that has to do with that old stadium in the dumpster forever. Forever.
Yeah.
It's like my whole life, man.
I want to take a chair, though. I do want to.
I'm bitter. I'm sorry.
All right. Chugbot, what do you think about the nickname? They want to name the area around the new stadium. And they want to call it Brownstown. What do you think about that? Man, he is really glitching out today. Chugbot.
But
He's not reliable.
No.
Oh, he's
I think
sending
he's
it to me in
drug
North Dakota. Hell no, it's a dumbass move. Calling it Brownstown sounds like a cheesy branding stunt to suck up to fans, but it's gonna piss off Clevelanders who already hate the Haslams pushing for a $2.4 billion dome, especially since they're ditching the lakefront. Let's see. Post on next. He went on for a little long here. Naming it Brownstown could just fuel the fire and make it a punchline instead of a draw. Plus, the Haslam's track record of pissing off folks with their Haslam scheme tactics, it's more likely to be mocked than embraced. Stick to something less try hard, you greedy bastards.
I love it. Andy, can you do that for every time he says something?
Sure.
Can you read it to me?
It sounds like Roger's old tweets.
I love that.
Well, we won't go too much in depth. It is one of the spit, sip, chug statements. We can kind of, you can kind of like go into that.
Yeah, well, let's move right into
Oh, yeah, we
Believe
got to
it.
do that. I forgot.
We got
Well-
21 minutes, so we gotta.
Oh, God, we got to stay on. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, if that's the case, Andy, then it's time for Spit, Sip, Chug, a game with so much fame and acclaim. And yes, I did give it its name. I will say statements. There are statements, not questions, so please don't question my statement. If you heavily agree with that statement, you will chug. If you disagree vehemently, you will spit. And if you're lukewarm on it, you will sip. Roger, any rules against Roger sipping tonight? Bill, we'll let you decide.
Okay. No rules. Roger can
No
do
rules,
whatever the
okay.
hell he wants to do.
Okay, do
He's
what the
pissed
hell
off
you want.
enough people on social media. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
He's had a rough day.
Fair enough. Fair
He
enough.
has. Absolutely.
All right. Since Bill is the guest tonight, we will start with you.
Salute.
And I'll just start with this one since we're talking about the subject. Nick, thank you for introducing it. And this is great. It leads right into it. Perfect. The statement is this, Bill. It will be scrolling on the bottom. But if you're mad about the new Browns enclosed stadium, you are just a miserable loser.
damn.
That's the statement.
If you're mad about the new Browns enclosed stadium, You are just a miserable loser. No, I gotta spit this.
Mm.
Everyone's entitled to their opinions. I mean, my God, this team has been so bad since 1999. We have so few things that we can enjoy. If they want to be pissed off about that, who cares? They're not a miserable loser. They're just frustrated. I think every single one of us are frustrated. And Lana, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but if Kevin is this quarterback whisperer, why do we still have a quarterback problem the whole time he's been here? It's just so
Shots
frustrating.
I won't respond. I won't respond right now.
I'm just being honest. But this is people can be whatever they want to be pissed off. Let them be pissed off. They're passionate people. It's not going to be the Muni lot anymore. I don't know. Call it Brownsport.
Nice. Roger, how do you follow that, Roger?
I'm gonna sip on it
Of course he is.
because I'm allowed to tonight. And I think miserable loser is aggressive.
Yeah.
Very. I think there's more to it. There, people are pissed because it's enclosed. People are pissed because it's Brook Park. People are pissed because they can't make their fucking money in their food truck down on West 3rd and Summit no more because that's getting shut down. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people pissed off for a lot of reasons, right? So, there's people that grew up in Muni Lot that been camping out there for decades, and it's just there's a lot involved in it that people are mad about, and it's not just because it's an enclosed stadium. So that's why I'm sipping on it. I don't know, man. I think overall it's good. I think getting into the Brown Stadium and getting out getting in, nobody cares. Getting out's a nightmare, especially when it's bad football. It's a bad football team, and they're gonna. I don't know. I said today, I had my tweet today. Jimmy Haslam promised a Super Bowl. He didn't say who was going to play in it, but he promised a Super Bowl, so he might deliver that. So we just don't know who's going to play in it, courtesy of Jimmy Haslam. I don't know. I'm sipping on it. I live in Summit County. I don't give a shit.
Andy,
at the end of the day, like the whole culture of going to a Browns game, what happens before the Browns game, what happens when you go to the Browns games, the amount of money you pay for everything, it's going to change drastically. Like Muni Lot's never going to be the thing that we that we enjoy. It just isn't. It's going to be some very controlled environment where you're paying way too much for drinks, and you go to like Minnesota, there's no like tailgate parking lot that you could just rip your coolers out and set up your grills and do your thing. Like you kind of have to go around the stadium and do their thing, which sucks, frankly. And that's sort of where I'm coming from. And I think Brownstown is going to be kind of lame because it's just going to be this corporate thing that is not Cleveland at all. And in that level, I think it's like, I'm going to miss the good old days. I do genuinely believe that. And not to mention, like, can Cleveland even afford to pay 2.5, 3 more times, for ticket prices? Because they are going to go up.
Nick Carn's tweet today kind of dispelled that.
Yeah.
Right. We'll find out. But they're not building this incredible thing and then just going to say, hey, yeah, you could come for $60 and get whatever.
$106, I think, was one.
$106 is the cheapest game in Minnesota in prime time. In prime time in the home opener.
Right, but that's the resale value. I'm sure the people that are paying season tickets are paying considerably more than I'm paying for my season tickets at the Cleveland Browns these days.
All I'm saying is I go to one away game a year, and none of the tickets have been more than $150.
But don't forget, you're going
Hard Rock,
that city's worst game on their schedule to see them play the Cleveland Browns.
Not always. Not always. They'll go to one game a year.
Yeah, but
we are the worst team. He's saying the Browns are the worst team. So whoever plays the Browns, that's their worst game of the year.
The Minnesota Viking fans are looking at their schedule of tickets. They're like, "Oh man, I can't wait to go to this Browns game." Like that's the dud. unfortunately.
That's what
Okay,
they're
well,
selling.
but the Vikings home opener is not only in prime time, but it's against the Falcons, who are also expected to be pretty good.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the Browns. Got it. At the end of the day, look, I could be completely deluded in thinking this, but I do believe they're building this thing, and it has more to do with, profits than it has to do with like making the fans happy. I think it's going to be great for the area. I think having bigger venues, bigger venue to host bigger events is going to be great. Using it all year round is going to be great. Having access to parking is going to be great. Like, there's a lot of advantages. So I don't hate it, but I'm a little worried that, like, as much as we've bitched about like the last 20 years, like this is going to feel like a great time that it just doesn't kind of match the same energy. And that's what I'm worried about. Obviously, if the team plays well, the energy is going to go skyrocket anyway. But this is all to say, I'm going to, let's see. Yes, I'm going to chug on this because outside of like the people that like, are on this show, Browns fans are all miserable fucks. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, of course they're going to be miserable. Like, that applies to any question you could ever ask or statement you can ever make. So I'm chugging.
Nice. I'm actually going to take more time on this one and defer some of my time on the next couple ones because I think this is my favorite statement. But I am definitely chugging.
Wow.
If I use the term loser or anything derogatory in this, I only mean it in a way that you need to open up your mind. And unfortunately, sports, it's played on the field. But as I found out in 1995, and as all Browns fans found out when their team left and went to Baltimore, it's more than just the results on the field on Sundays. Nick, we talk about, Browns Twitter, Browns community. I mean, talk about the community a lot. People are bitching now because their way of celebrating the Browns changes. And anytime you have change, people get, a little bit uneasy. And some people tend to go very negative and saying, but it's the unknown for everyone. The people that are pro Brownstown, we don't know what it's going to be like, and this vice versa. We choose to be more optimistic about it, and that's our approach, and that's fine. That's how we fan. So, to Roger's point and Bill's point about, these people and how they, have their emotions. It's not just on Sundays when you're cheering a play or cheering an outcome of the result of the game. We're living our life and rooting for this team. We root from 365, and that comes out on X and on all these places that we put our feelings and our emotions through. So, and also too, finding out and when I was 15 and seeing the Browns, it wasn't just, I wasn't going to be able to watch the Browns. It was Cleveland. It's like, if you're a fan of the Cleveland Browns, and yes, I know they're moving to Brook Park and the jokes Brook Park Browns, but no, they're the Cleveland Browns, because when we say Cleveland Browns, we mean Northeast Ohio. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We mean Ohio. We mean whoever's a Browns fan. That's what we mean. But Cleveland is the city. Okay. And it will never not be the city as the Cleveland Browns. So, what's best for Cleveland and Northeast Ohio is building this dome. It's an economic. You can argue about how many jobs, this or that, but Cleveland got made fun of by Sophie Cunningham. Everybody on Twitter and X crying because Sophie Cunningham made fun of Detroit and Cleveland. You know what? She wouldn't be making fun of Cleveland if we had, I don't know, a nice, beautiful dome and things. And we, just like in the 90s when we got Gateway and Jacobs Field and Quicken Loans, Gund Arena at the time, and now Rocket Mortgage, Rocket Arena. My bad. Just so many times. But that's the thing. Cleveland, you want to change your perception. You get mad when other people say what they say. Bill, I hope you're okay. It's building, I don't know, Taj Mahals. And here's another thing here, my last point. You're getting $600 million of unclaimed funds from people that the funds are over 10 years old, or they're probably dead. That money is just sitting, $4.8 billion doing nothing. $600 million when your owner's going to pay $2.4 billion. Thank you, Jimmy Haslam. You suck on the field. And our results suck on Sundays and game days. But as an owner, you have been awesome towards the city of Cleveland, and you didn't have to be. And you're going to pay $2.4 billion, and you deserve the $600 million. That's going to create good union jobs, going to help the economic vitality of Cleveland. And so that's why I'm taking more time on this spit, sip, chug statement, because you are a fucking moron if you are against this. And I will say miserable loser, and we can all disagree from that way. But if you love Cleveland, you'll love that deal, and you'll love Brownstown. And I'm chugging to Brown. We're going to Brownstown. And Nick, I'm going to you right now.
Like Wrigleyville, baby. All right. Very quickly, I'm going to sip on this. I'm going to sip on this because of this. Some of the most miserable times I've ever had have been in the rain, snow, sleet, hail, as the Browns get their asses kicked and I'm just sitting there shaking, shivering. That's awful. Now, that being said, my old man believes in football and the elements, and I got my Browns fandom from him. I respect his opinion. But I think I have something meaningful to share because I go to one away Browns game every year. I've been to, I'm not going to list all of them, but I'm going to list the relevant ones. Miami, LA, Denver, damn it, I'm forgetting all of them right now. Detroit, and where did I just go? Indianapolis, and I probably said Miami already. That's fine. Oh, well, here's what I need you to know. Every one of those, and Arizona, every one of those tailgates I've been to have been completely unregulated by the teams, Buffalo as well. And many of them, Buffalo, Denver, Arizona, Miami, have all been directly outside the stadium. So what I'm saying is the Browns are going to have this stadium in Brook Park, and they're going to have the tailgates, and people are freaking out and saying that, like, you're only going to be able to buy beer from the Browns, whatever. And I've literally been to many tailgates that happen directly outside of their NFL stadiums, and they're completely unregulated by the team. It's the same vibe as the Muni lot. It's just everybody brings their grills, everybody brings their beer, everybody has their good time. And I've done this basically. I've never been to a tailgate where the team controlled it, and so I just don't understand why the Browns would be so different when I've been to so many different stadiums. I've been going to an away game for almost 10 years now, so 9 away games. I've never been to an away game where the team controlled the outside tailgating.
I thought Dallas was one.
I've never been to Dallas,
so
I can't speak to that.
Dallas does have a village there, a little.
And the Vikings, that was the experience I had, was there was not tailgating in the traditional sense. But
interesting. Okay.
I think they're just surrounded with so much concrete and sidewalk and buildings that they make it impossible, and the parking is scattered from what I saw. You know, like a couple hundred cars over here, you know what I mean? It's like not the Muni where there's thousands, you know, and it's a huge party. Maybe there'll be little spark up. I don't know. But that's just a conception drawing that you see. It just looks like a lot of walkways and concrete and pedestrian ways and things like that around it, with buildings and hotels and shops and stores. So I wonder what it's going to be like. I don't know, man.
Very quickly, Denver, LA, and Miami, and Buffalo, and Arizona all have their tailgates right outside the stadium, directly outside. There's no regulation of any kind.
I've been to Buffalo when the Browns were gone.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. We had a blast.
Yeah. All right. We got to move this along.
Lana.
That was 100 years ago, though.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I didn't go. Hold on. I'll make it really fast. I'm sipping.
Okay.
I'm going to make it really quick.
We're going to 11:15
you guys
tonight.
covered all kinds of stuff, and this is just a basic statement saying if you're mad about the Browns, blah, 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 you're a loser. And basically what I'm taking out of this is that I don't like is I'm tired of people telling people how to fan. Okay?
There you
We
go.
all have our opinions, and it's okay for somebody to not like it because that's the way they want to fan. Okay? I'm going to fan the way I want to fan. We're all going to fan the way we want to fan, and let them fan the way they want to fan if they want to be a loser. Okay, that's it.
Beautiful.
Damn it. She went down the wall.
Well said. All right. Let's do one more, Ed, and we'll try and keep our answers brief on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Do you want to do Cavs, WNBA, or 4th of July?
WNBA.
July.
Oh, WNBA.
You want to do WNBA?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Here we go. All right.
There we go.
Well, I didn't have to talk about the Cavs.
All right. We'll start with you, Roger. A WNBA championship counts as a major title.
I told you I'm going to spit because I barely counted LeBron and the Cavs title as a major title. So there's no way I could possibly. You know what? No, man. It's. I didn't even know the WNBA was still playing until Caitlin Clark came. I thought when the Rockers are gone, the whole NBA. I thought the whole league closed down. So no. I'm spitting, but I'm thirsty. So I'm gonna drink
Okay,
too.
Andy.
Oh,
Yeah, for me, it's pretty simple. If your sports team isn't viable enough to create its own facility, then it doesn't count as a major sports championship. Like they're
The
just
Jets and the
getting stuck, like smashed into what do they call it now? The Rocket
Rocket Arena.
Arena.
rough.
It's like the when they used to have the oh my gosh, the football that they played in
Arena League team. Yeah, the
Arena League.
Gladiators.
yeah, like
Gladiators.
that wouldn't have counted. And unfortunately, I'm going to say the WNBA. But the popularity's soaring. I think it's up like 5% in the last 10 years.
This is why I don't follow you. You're a dick.
Oh,
Andy Cohen.
No, it's there's more relevance in WNBA than there ever has been. That's awesome. And if like my daughter got into that, I'd be so honored to like take her to games and to get to bond with her over that. That would be great. But if they win the title, it's not really going to mean like my dreams coming true like it would if the other three teams do. So I'm spitting.
ooh.
I'm actually, you know what? The more I think about this, I'm actually going to chug. There's a caveat though, but I am going to chug on this.
You are so desperate for a championship.
No, it's not. No, it's not about that. Because here's the thing: it is the highest level of competition that a female can go to, and you know what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying a female can't go to the NBA if they're good enough, but from a league of playing with the same gender as you, it is the highest possible, and it is the women's equivalent of the NBA. So it may not be a major title, and I get that. I'm not here to like morally change anybody how they feel about gender. This is not about that. This is about how you view something. Because when I was 6 years old, and the Cavs and the Guardians or Indians at the time went to the World Series, and obviously NBA, one team won and one team didn't, obviously. But if I had to look back at it, I would have preferred the Indians to win the World Series. Beggars can't be choosers, and you always want to win both of them. But from a standpoint of the 97 World Series, it meant more to me in 95. It meant more to me if the Indians would win than the Cavs. But my son loves basketball. It meant more to him that the Cavs won than obviously the Indians win in the World Series. But I think for little girls and girls out there and girl dads and everything like that, a Cleveland Rockers championship to them would be major. And it's hard, it's just because you don't take that as a major. And I get that however you count it. If the New York Liberty, per se, WNBA, they win the championship, does that count? If the Islanders, if the Rangers, if the Jets, Giants, and there are other, teams that traditionally count as majors, what I'm saying? I don't know. That's so. I think it's in the beholder of this fandom. Like you said, Lana, you made a great point earlier. You're sick and tired of people telling others how to fan. And I think picking and choosing if it's a major or not is kind of telling somebody how to fan. And if somebody wants to go down and have a parade with them and they treat it like it was, that's on them. But I'm not going to belittle the people like Roger and Andy and like, that say no. That I don't think, but I think that having the conversation that I'm trying to have right now, as long as you can acknowledge that, I think that's a win for society. Nick.
I'm going to sip. And I'll tell you why. So what's baked into me with Cleveland championships is the amount of years that I've been rooting and hoping and yearning for them. So what I need to do is build a relationship with Cleveland's WNBA team, right? And like build a bond with them. And then once that happens, it will be meaningful. But it's not meaningful if like you haven't rooted for a team for a really long time. So to me, I agree with Ed that it's the elite of women's basketball, right? So if they win, that's significant to me. I just need time to build that bond with the team.
Fair enough.
All right.
Nobody had a parade for Kai Hoskovy.
Cleveland Crunch and all that. Where you're going? Is that where you're going with that? Is that
Force. The Force.
Cleveland Force.
Oh, the Force back.
Well, I'm going
has
to
to be in the
Marinara
Force.
and yeah. All right.
All right. We got to keep this going.
Oh,
Yep,
it's-
Lana.
All right. I'm chugging it
I'm done.
because
I chug.
I feel like I do feel that the NBA is soaring up. I think we're going to see this whole league explode. I think a lot of money is going to start coming their way. as more of these teams form, and I think it'll be no time before we have a championship that's watched just as much as the NBA championship. And let's hope it's our Cleveland ladies.
Yeah.
And I hope you kick Sophie Cunningham's ass.
Nice.
But
Okay.
if you want to come to Cleveland, Sophie, and bring Caitlin Clark with you as free agents, whatever like that, feel free to do so.
No.
Bill.
Bill, you're up.
I will say that I could probably afford a family of five, take a family of five to a WNBA game before I could take them to a Browns game.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's
They
right.
got that going for
Mhm.
Bill.
Okay, I'm spitting this one. I'm sorry. This league still, I mean, they've been in existence since what, 96, 97? They're
Mhm.
still being sponsored by the NBA. Granted, I know the past year or so with Kate and Clark, there's starting to become money that's rolling into here and everything else. But if you're still getting support from the NBA, this is like a minor league title. It really is. You know, it's like the support that maybe a AAA team would get from the Guardians or from the Reds or from the Crew and FC Cincinnati. Great. If they want to go ahead and get a title, good for them. I'm not going to tell people how to fan, right? I agree with that. But counting as a major title, no. There are 4 major sports. If you can sit here and tell me that you're going to have the television numbers and the contracts supporting these women, then we can have that conversation maybe in 3 or 4 years. But right now,
Mhm.
nope.
We're not there.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's coming.
But the arrow's trending in the right direction, and let's see
Right.
where it is in 20 years. I mean, whatever.
them. More
It's been
excited
training
about the
since
baseball.
'96. It's been training
Right,
since
yeah.
since the Browns were gone.
And I think there was a big period where it was sort of stagnant, and now I think it is going up in the right direction. So we'll see how it goes. But all great points. I think we have one more segment, and we'll get us out of here. Ed.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Hopefully technology will cooperate in this segment. But Bill, you are going under rapid fire. You have 3 seconds to answer. I'm going to go spit questions at you and just say yes, no, or the answer in under 3 seconds. You ready?
All righty.
Oh,
Andy, let's pray.
I'm getting up here to focus.
All right.
okay.
All right, here we go. The WNBA is good basketball.
No.
Sophie Cunningham hating on Cleveland is lazy.
She was hating on Cincinnati, I think.
Yep.
But
Funny.
yes.
Yep. Yes. Shador Sanders will end up being better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
Using unclaimed funds to fund stadiums is a clever idea.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Using unclaimed funds to fund stadiums is a clever idea.
Absolutely.
The Haslams are good owners off the field.
Wow. No.
Okay.
Mayor Bibb
Clueless.
fumbled the
Clueless.
downtown stadium effort.
No. City Council fumbled
Hmm.
the whole stadium issue.
Nice. Michigan will make the college football playoff.
Man, say that again, man. My internet is so bad tonight.
That's fine. Michigan will make the college football playoff.
Hi, Nick.
Absolutely.
Go Blue.
Absolutely.
Guardians are just
Blue.
losers this year. The Guardians are. Stephen Vogt is an average manager.
Yes.
And finally, what the hell is on your grill this 4th of July weekend?
I don't know. My wife's cousins cook grilling out, so I think it's going to be burgers and Mets, dogs, brats. I'm hoping there'll be some ribs, but I don't know. I'm not grilling this weekend. My wife's cousin's
Wow.
doing it. I know. I get to just
Chill.
sit, drink, and kind of enjoy. It's gonna be so weird. I've been doing ribs. I've been doing Italian sausage. I've been doing so many things in the past, and now I'm like, I'm not grilling. I'm not doing anything except drinking and eating. I'm good with that. I can do that.
Amen.
You are off rapid fire.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. Well, it looks like we lost a few.
We
That's
lost
okay.
people. Nick had to leave, and Andy, I don't know what happened to Andy. Maybe his internet went out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, there he
is.
comes. He's back on.
Oh, I was
There's
going to end the
Andy.
show, Andy. Don't
All
worry
right.
about it.
All right. So I don't know what just happened there, but we
Weird,
Yeah,
I know.
my internet kind of jumped too, man. That was weird.
There's something going
must
on.
be some
Aliens.
solar flares going on. Anyway,
All
it's been a fantastic episode. Bill, thanks for coming on. Sorry with your internet struggles, but you were fantastic tonight.
Yeah, it's
Right,
weird.
you know.
Great answers. We know what to expect when you come on. You basically don't have to prepare a show. You do such a good job, so we appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Nick,
you guys do a great
anytime.
job. You always do.
I love when he
Anytime, you know
comes
that.
and joins us. Sorry, he couldn't make it to the end. Lana, thank you for being here. I know we went past 10, so thanks for putting our
No, that's good.
11.
That's good.
And man, to Ed and Roger, thanks for keeping the show on when I was in Vegas, degenning it up. I appreciate it. And it's just
Best
been
show
really
ever.
fantastic. Dawg Chug. There was some passion in those spit sip chug answers. I'm getting a little drunk. These are some hot issues, and I'm glad we touched on them today because they're
We did.
important to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that
Agreed.
in mind, drink them if you got them. We're 9 weeks away from the season. 9 weeks away from this show being like 15 years old. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Right.
Go Browns.
He's gonna
Wow.
have his driver's license.